Hey guys, Biosec here. Now, of course, what we're going to talk about today is just some stories that I've been looking up on the internet. Now, of course, I will be showing more information on love dolls that people might want to know about and buy, of course. But for the moment, I don't have my electricity on, or my electricity is on, but my AC is out. I have been waiting for the AC guy to come all day today. And while I was at it, I decided to make this video. Because this is literally the only day I can do it, and I'm not sure when this person is gonna come, but he is definitely late. Oh my god, so fucking ugh in here. Moving on from that though, so I picked out some stories here, a few interesting ones. Well, let's see here. Now, I guess while I'm at it, I will put one of these links to one of these stories in the description here, and I'll choose that story here in a moment here. Okay, come on. Okay, so the first story here that I have is based on an Australian man convicted of possessing child sex dolls. A man has become the first person in Queensland to be convicted after new federal law banning possession of child sex dolls, like pretty much everywhere, I guess. Terry Dunnett, 45, admitted to 2 counts of possession of child sex doll, 1 count of attempting to possess a child sex doll, and a further charge of possessing child exploitation material on a laptop. ABC News reported the man from Brisbane in Australia was caught with Australian Border Force ABF officers detected an anatomically correct doll and shipments from China addressed to him, of course. When they raided his home several days later, police found 2 more dolls with depicted young girls aged between 4 and 5 years old. Ugh, that's a little young. Sentenced at Brisbane's District Court, Judge Orazio Reynado said they are life-like dolls depicting female children with cavities. Seriously. With cavities, like the risk of the sale of such items objectifying children as sexual beings could be used to groom children for sex. He added, this is getting a little hard to read here. He added it was a heinous crime to be involved in the exploitation of children, and such a offense could cause dissemination to a child. Sexual abuse, or lead to an escalation of offending against a child. Now, I'm not necessarily saying it would basically lead to all of that, but I at least get why, having lifelike young sex dolls like that is illegal, at least, but still. Moving on from that. However, he said he had to take into consideration. Jesus fucking Christ, man. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Have to re-upload this thing. Excuse me. However, he said he had to take into consideration Donut's early guilty plea and remorse when determining his sentence. I'm satisfied that you now understand that possession of these dolls and other items is wrong, he said. Now, I don't know about that, but moving on from that. Then it becomes the first person from Queensland to be convicted and sentenced under new federal laws were introduced to combat child abuse offenses. He told officers that he had purchased sex dolls, including the one intercepted by ABF online between 2014 through 2020. Judge Renato sentenced Nunna to 2 years in jail, but ordered he be immediately released under probation supervision. He's probably going to do it again. He also placed him on a good behavior bond for 2 years and ordered that he pay 2,000 Australian dollars innocence surety if he reoffends. Okay. So moving on to the next story here. Now, this guy, a man who married sex doll, says his two partners have fallen in love, apparently. Yuri Talachono, man, these names today, has been living a drama filled with life during the lockdown. He married a sex doll before divorcing her. He's cheated on a partner of the past kind while he was being repaired, or she was being repaired. I swear to God. And now he's in a triple of two new dolls, and they've fallen in love. Apparently, dolls can fall in love. And these letters are really small. The bodybuilder from Kazakhstan revealed the latter in an Instagram post where he explained that his dolls, Luna and Lola, were getting on pretty well and claimed that he spends more time with them both together as well as separately. Now, I don't want to jump to the conclusion that I imagine a threesome is tricky enough as it is with three human beings, never mind two dolls to control. Fair enough. Anyway, logistics aside, Yuri wrote, so me and Luna get along great. Lola also fell in love with Luna. I give each of them a separate time, but the three of us together are also having fun. Luna is so babe, so honey. I just want to hug her and not let her go. He went on to add, P.S. By the way, I'm often asked how a doll differs from a living woman. Same here. In addition to the fact that she can be for a long time. Different poses, and you can realize a variety of fantasies. She also has a unique pussy. There are elements of that a living woman does not have. And you just fly into space when you play with her. So a sex doll has more stamina, huh? Who would have guessed? Jeez. Okay, moving on. Maybe you're wondering what went on with Yuri and his sex ex-wife. Or his ex-wife. Ugh. So let's give you a bit of a recap. So he was married to a silicone lover called Margot, and who ended up being broken, and he had to have her repaired, or as Yuri liked to say, she's in the hospital. Like many relationships, if one party goes absent for a period of time, his eyes wandered, and he ended up doing a dirty with an object, a mental mask. He then admitted to the world that he and Margot were no more and introduced the world to his new wife, Lola, otherwise known as his massive chicken. What's massive chicken? Yeah, who knows? Yuri explained Lola has a woman's head, a chicken's body. The navel has depth and can be used as a vagina and a penis inserted into it. Whatever. That gives a new meaning to variety being the spice of life, each to their own. Okay? And here's the last story here. Excuse me. Terrified mom calls police after finding a corpse only to find that it's a sex doll. Now, I've kind of heard of stuff like this before. A terrified mom called police after she found a naked corpse while out fishing. Officers sealed off Brittany Pennican's garden in Virginia Beach, U.S., only for it to turn out to be a deceased female was in fact an abandoned sex doll. Oh my God, these pics! I could actually see why she thought that this thing was a corpse. Yeah, this is the story that I'll link to you guys here in the description after I make this video. That actually does look kind of creepy, almost like Silent Hill like. But anyway. A terrified mom called the police after she found the naked corpse while fishing. Then officers sealed off Brittany's Finnegan. Turned out to be a sex doll. Yep. The 25 years old stomach churned when she and her boyfriend Taylor, day 29, saw a foot poking from behind some rocks at the creek near the home last month. The pair spent half an hour trying to work out what it was before grabbing a pair of binoculars to get a closer look. It was then that Brittany clearly saw a pair of legs, a burn, and a pair of breasts in the distance. She quickly called 911 and informed police that they had stumbled across the body. Moments later, 6 police squad cars, a fire truck, and emergency medical teams assembled outside Brittany's house and cordoned off the garden. Brittany said, "It was really a scary thing to find. I remember thinking, if there's a murder out there, we have to leave." Everybody thought it was real. Then the cops arrived. They said, "Yeah, we might have a homicide." They got their little blow-up dinghy and they rode out to it, and then they stayed on the rocks for about 5 minutes just looking around. But horror quickly turned into hilarity as the cops realized that it wasn't such a grisly case after all. Brittany said, "Suddenly, we saw them just pick it up, plot it on the little dinghy." "Come over," they asked. "Well, are you all missing anything?" It was an abandoned sex doll. It was one of the real slick, squishy ones, I guess, are a good amount of money. I would say it's a TPE doll. They were just relieved it was fake. 30 emergency service people started to crack a laugh up, and everybody was taking pictures. They said, "I don't think we're going to do any paperwork on this," but not wanting to have to dispose of the body herself, Brittany asked the police to do one last favor for her before they left. She added, "The trash men were on strike that week, so they weren't picking up trash. So I asked the cops, y'all are going to dispose of that, right? Because if the trash cans are full, they just picked up and hauled it away." I felt very relieved, but then wondered if we were going to get in trouble for calling, but they said it was better than safe than sorry. It was definitely the first time I ever came across anything like this in my whole life of fishing before. Virginia Beach Police Department were contacted for comments. And that's it. I thought there was more there, but I guess not. So those are actually kind of more recent things. I also actually heard of a story of a guy that apparently also had a child sex doll, and he said that his excuse for having a child sex doll was that he was trying to replace a young relative or son that he used to have with it. However, his son had been dead for like 20 years. And so I'm not really sure about that. And I mean, you know, I don't really judge what people are into. I really don't. But, you know, I'm not saying it's a good thing, but, you know, you just can't do that. And of course, with that being said, I'll just end the video here, and I will put that 1/3 story in the link in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.